I'm Reverend Ron, Enlightened Spiritual Master and student of A Course in Miracles. This video is Saturday, June 13th, 2020, is on the Holy Instant, is under the direction of the Holy Spirit. For those who disagree with what we say, I accept full responsibility. For those who agree, I take none of the credit. All credit to the Holy Spirit. With that, let's get started. Now, here's the bad news. Now, we look at the headlines lately, and a lot of bad things seem to be happening here in the physical world of time that we all inhabit. We've had this coronavirus God in charge for the last couple of months, and the coronavirus God has totally destroyed and decimated our economy. We've got shuttered and closed businesses. We've had over 100,000 deaths, if you believe the official statistics. Our once proud republic with useful, productive citizens, lots of small businesses and a high employment rate, and citizens, happy, contented citizens, has been reduced to little more than a welfare state, and that's a sad state of affairs. We get by with government grants and welfare and unemployment and stuff like that. Our once proud cities who stood as monuments to achievement and hard work have been burned and looted and occupied by the so-called peaceful protesters. Now, these peaceful protesters and police officers and citizens alike have been killed and seriously injured. These protests haven't really discriminated against anybody. We've all been hurt by these things. Even those of us like me who stay out of the way have been hurt. We're afraid to go anywhere and do anything, and we have to look at the news every night to see where we can go and where we can't go, and we're always afraid we're going to run into a crowd and have to drive through the crowd or something. So this is the world we have right now, and hopefully it's going to end soon. Now, needless to say, this isn't the world we want. We would like a world where there are no different skin colors, where there are no black people, there are no white people, there are no brown people, where we are all children of God. We would like to have a world where we didn't need police officers, where we didn't need prisons, and we would like to have a world where we didn't have war, where we didn't spend a lot of our budget making weapons of war and killing machines and teaching people to kill and having wars that we shouldn't have and things like this. We would like to have a world where we have peace. We would like to have a world of complete and total sharing of the world's abundance. Notice the word abundance, rather than 1% of the world's population having 90% of the wealth, because of the erroneous perception of scarcity that we operate under. And the world's 1% hoard wealth far in excess of what they will ever need or what they can ever use or what even their succeeding generations will be able to use. So that being the case, now this is the ideal world we would like to have. Now, that being the case, how long would it take to achieve this state, and how can we achieve it? So, here's the bad news. We can't achieve this state by ourselves. This can only be achieved through a worldwide spiritual awakening, through divine intervention and practicing Sermon on the Mount and A Course in Miracles principles. Now, so the next question you might ask is, how long would it take to achieve this world? How many years? How many centuries? Would it take untold thousands of years? Could this state ever be achieved? Now, the good news is this could be easily achieved if you believe the promises God gave us. And how long would it take? Well, ask yourself, how long did it take for our worship of the coronavirus god to decimate the world? A matter of maybe a couple of months. A couple of months and the world is completely shut down through our worship of the coronavirus god. The looters and rioters have practically destroyed most of the major cities in the United States of America practically overnight, certainly within a period of 2 weeks. So you talk about a worldwide spiritual awakening and this ideal state I described, it shouldn't take that long. So I'm going to give you a definition from A Course in Miracles about how long this should take. And as I say, it shouldn't take long at all. This could literally be done overnight if we would get our mindset straight and live by these principles. I'm going to close this video off by reading 2 sections from the Course in Miracles regarding the holy instant. The first is from the text. It's on page 309. Practicing the holy instant. This course is not beyond immediate learning unless you believe that what God wills takes time. And this means only that you would rather delay the recognition that His will is so. The holy instant is this instant and every instant. The one you want it to be, it is. The one you would not have it be is lost to you. You must decide when it is. Delay it not. For beyond the past and future, where you will not find it, it stands in shimmering readiness for your acceptance. Yet you cannot bring it into glad awareness while you do not want it, for it holds the whole release from littleness. The next one I'm going to read here is on page 315. In the world of scarcity, love has no meaning and peace is impossible. For gain and loss are both accepted, and so no one is aware that perfect love is in him. In the holy instant you recognize the idea of love in you, and unite this idea with the mind that threw it and could not relinquish it. For by holding it within itself there is no loss. The holy instant thus becomes a lesson in how to hold all of your brothers in your mind. Experience not loss, but completion. From this it follows that you can only give, and this is love, for this alone is natural under the laws of God. In the holy instant the laws of God prevail, and only they have meaning. The laws of this world cease to hold any meaning at all. When the Son of God accepts the laws of God as what He gladly wills, it is impossible that He be bound or limited in any way. In that instant, He is as free as God would have Him be. For the instant He refuses to be bound, He is not bound. That concludes this video today, and let us all work under these principles and the Sermon on the Mount and Course in Miracles guidelines and work towards this better world we all hope to achieve.